Well, hey there, podcast people. This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, they cover the movie 8 Crazy Nights.
Joel,
Yes, Andrew.
happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah to you too.
This is being recorded on the second day of Hanukkah. Brr, 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 brr.
dreidel,
Do
dreidel,
the days of
dreidel.
Hanukkah have meaning? I don't know.
Andrew.
Well, we grew up in the Bible Belt. It's not like there's a rabbi I can go ask.
Call
And
up.
I'm pretty sure if I get a preacher like to answer this question, it's going to come off pretty anti-Semitic. I don't know.
Maybe. Probably not.
I'd rather not. If I,
Man,
I'd
Jews
rather not step in a church.
Jews and Christians are tight like that, you know?
Oh yeah. So hey, email the show. CartoonDumpsterDive.com. Do the days of Hanukkah mean anything? I refuse to Google it. Because I'm lazy.
Are
So-
you asking like, you're not asking the history of Hanukkah, just
No,
does like
just
day
if
one,
each
day
day-
two?
Is it like the 12 days of Christmas,
I think that's a bad
but with
example.
like more meaning and less birds?
Can't help it that the first 7 days are basically 23 birds.
Technically, if you got the same amount of birds every time for like, so if you got let's say you get a partridge in a pear tree, but like even on the 12th day, so you get those gifts again. That's 184 birds.
That's a lot of birds. A lot of feces all over the place, too.
Those maids should be shoveling shit, not milking.
Yep.
Because that's a lot of bird poo poo.
Well, what are they going to milk? You ain't got no cows. You just got birds.
Yeah, it's true. And I don't think birds can be milked.
Unless they're talking about, like, milkmaids.
Yeah, they are talking about milkmaids.
Like
8 maids of milking.
the ones that, like, milk themselves. Those milkmaids.
Oh God. I don't know if that I don't know if they had OnlyFans or that kind of stuff when they wrote that song, but we're not here to talk about the 12 days of Christmas. We're here to talk about the 8 nights of Hanukkah.
Or as some would
Whether or
say,
not they are crazy
8 crazy nights.
is speculation, but this movie, they are crazy.
They are. Yep.
And what rhymes with crazy? Davy, the main character of A Crazy Night. Yeah. So this is Adam Sandler's first animated film. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it is.
And Happy Madison Productions' second sports-themed movie. So there you go.
Second?
Yeah. Happy Gilmore, this movie.
What about Waterboy? Is that Happy Madison?
Oh, fuck, it is. Okay, so third.
Yeah.
Golf, football, basketball.
Bass. We're
The
talking
3 sports.
basketball. We're
So this
playing
movie's got a lot
bas-
going for it. It's got Adam Sandler. It's got music.
Yep.
It's got holiday feel. And it's got Rob Schneider doing a horrendous Asian accent for one of the characters. So,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Yep. Hey, that
So if
was
you're a little sensitive to that, this movie may not be for you.
hey, that's 2002 for you, baby.
Yeah, that's 2002 comedy. There's a lot of 2002 comedy in this.
I don't know. I guess because I grew up in that era, I still found
Yeah.
this movie
Well,
pretty
yeah,
funny.
of course. But like, it's just like with the boomers, they don't find shit offensive because they grew up with it. But also, they beat their wives and they don't find that offensive. So
Rule of thumb, baby. Rule of
it's
thumb.
an ever-evolving spectrum of what is okay and what is not, and morality always changes. some shit might be okay later on that was offensive. We don't know. It's also not why we're here. We are getting sidetracked a lot. We've only been talking about this for 10 minutes. So, we can't judge that theme song, but we can judge that soundtrack.
Yes. Oh.
How do you feel about, what would you say is your favorite song? I don't know any of the titles, so you'll just have to tell me what they're singing.
That's the Hanukkah song at the end. I thought was pretty funny.
Well, that's the one from SNL.
Well, like, okay, maybe I'm talking about just all the singing at the end with like Whitey and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. I like the song at the mall, like when they're at the mall.
Where Davy needs to cry.
I think no, it's like the first time they go to the mall. Whitey singing about the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Really, the songs were good, but it wasn't anything that was like I enjoyed it while watching the movies, or watching this movie, but they didn't stick with me, if that makes sense.
There are two that I absolutely love, and the one where Whitey is explaining the rules to his house.
Okay,
it's like
That's a technical foul.
Oh yeah,
that one.
That's a technical.
And then the
foul.
one where Whitey doesn't win the patch.
Oh yeah,
and Adam Sandler. But I only love it for one reason. It's like they don't know how to end the song, so they just go bomb do 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 bomb bomb.
Yeah.
Bomb do 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 bomb. And it just comes out of nowhere.
So
and
random.
It makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah, that was like that song leading up to like them singing at the mall when Whitey gets his patch.
Oh,
like,
okay. So you like that song where
Yep.
it's like it's your moment, Whitey.
Yeah. I thought that was a pretty good song.
How did this get made, Joel?
Yeah, so like you said, it was the kind of Happy Madison Productions first animated film. Basically, Adam Sandler, Brad Isaac, Alan Covert, and Brooks Arthur basically wrote a script, pitched it around, and then it went into production. It was actually Adam Sandler's first animated film that he had worked on.
Yeah.
The second film that he worked on that was animated was Hotel Transylvania. So he had a 10-year gap between these two. But I mean, that's it. It doesn't have like a crazy, there was like no inspiration.
It was just like there's not really a Jewish animated holiday special.
That's it.
So that's what they went with.
And if you know anything about
there's more history in the production than there is in the idea.
Yep. And if you
Which
know
we'll get
anything
into.
about Adam Sandler, Jewish, always wanted to kind of, represent the fact that he's Jewish. And he's done this before where like he'll take, like there's no Hanukkah song. Created that SNL Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
No Hanukkah holiday movie. He made one.
Is there one of those claymation ones like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I think there is, but
Let's look it up.
It's
You
not.
know what? We're going to pause the podcast,
Boop.
but not really because I'm going to do this live. I'm going to look up right now if there's one. Looks like there's one called Lights that was made in 1984. So not around the time of Rudolph.
Yeah.
Good enough. So they got this.
Yep. Adam
Whether they
Sandler,
want it or not.
he speaks for all the Jewish people in the world. They
Yeah,
wanted
that's
it,
right.
apparently.
Clocking in at 76 minutes with a budget of $34 million and a considerably lower box office of $23.8 million. was a box office bomb at the time. It was, I will say this, if you haven't watched it, it is very well animated for how it's crude. It's crude humor.
Yeah.
It's Adam Sandler. It's Adam Sandler back in like, how should I put this?
Is Adam
Sandler, it portrays himself as a badass in movies.
Is Adam Sandler coming off the heels of him being a part of SNL?
Yeah, but if you look at the movies he's made, like now he doesn't do it as much.
No.
But it's like Mr. Deeds, Happy Gilmore,
Billy
Madison,
Madison,
kind of less. But
Big
he
Daddy.
always plays. Mr. Deeds is another good example. He always has this like, I gotta get one out. There's three things that Adam Sandler does. He has a badass moment. Like he's always got to do something badass. Like he'll knock out that football player, Mr. Deeds.
Yep.
He's incredibly smooth. It's a lot of upwriting for him.
Yeah.
And also, they mention he has a small wiener. There are several movies where they specifically go out of their way to mention that Adam Sandler's got a small dick. And I don't know why. They don't do it in 8 Crazy Nights.
It's a kid's movie, Andrew.
It is not a children's
They
movie.
wanted to get children watching this.
No, they wanted to get kids in those seats.
Yeah.
I remember how they advertised it. They wanted to get kids in those
Yeah.
seats.
It's not for kids.
Adam
though.
Sandler was actually praised a lot for his voice work, especially Whitey, and the animation was also received as praises because this is a very well animated movie.
It reminded me, the animation or the style of animation honestly made me think of the Iron Giant a lot.
I could see that they were going for a more traditional feel Christmas movie.
Yep.
Let's get into this movie. So we are in Dukesbury, New Hampshire, and we follow Davy Stone, a 33-year-old Jewish alcoholic troublemaker who
Great.
He sucks.
Yeah.
But
He's the worst.
I would argue, as we go along in this story, and you might agree, everyone in this town sucks.
Oh, yeah. The town is kind of filled with awful people.
Yeah, they're all filled with assholes. Davy's just the biggest asshole. So Davy is drunk as hell, and he leaves the bar, and he's about to drink and drive. But then the cops are like, "You gonna drink and drive?" He's like, "Nah." No, he's at a Chinese restaurant with Rob Schneider's offensively voiced Asian man. So we get there, and so now Davy didn't pay. He dined and dashed. And so now he's got to run away. And the whole town hates Davy. So any chance they have to arrest this motherfucker, they're going to take it. So Davy, in true Adam Sandler fashion, has a badass run sequence. But because it's animated, he ain't got to do it. Yeah. He steals a snowmobile and he crashes these like 40-foot ice sculpture of Santa and a menorah. Because Dukesbury, New Hampshire has a high enough Jewish population to... You don't think New Hampshire?
No, not in this movie.
They
have like 5 people who are Jewish.
They have the Jewish Community Rec Center or something like that.
Yep, those 5 people.
Those 5 people. They run the whole rec center.
Yep, that's
anyway, Davy gets arrested, and the judge is like, "What the hell, man? You've been fucking up since you were like 10, 12 years old. You used to be such a nice little boy, and now you're this piece of shit." And Davy's like, "I don't give a damn. I like being a piece of shit."
Yep, send me to prison, Judge.
And he's about to send him to prison for 10 years. It's about to do a dime.
Yep.
And this is where Adam Sandler's other voice character, Whitey, comes up. Whitey
Love
is a
me,
volunteer ref. He is 4'2". He's very furry, and he has 1 foot bigger than the other. And
He wears a size 11 on his right foot, and like men's size 11, and then a kid's 9 on his left foot.
that's right. And
Something
so,
stupid like that.
And so Whitey goes, "Well, why don't you have him be a volunteer ref, and he can work for me?" And so the judge agrees, and the judge is like, "All right, Davey, if you fuck up again, and Whitey says you fuck up again, you're going to prison for 10 years." And Adam Sandler's like, or Davey's like, "Great, okay." The first game that they tried, that Davey tries to referee, he comes in with these big ass boots, and I think he's already drunk again. And so the first thing he does is he tells a kid there's a foul that happens with this a larger child. And he's like, hey, Tubbs, next time you show up at my court, you better wear a bra. And the kid
he calls a penalty on the kid for being too fat.
Yeah.
I think is what he says.
Yeah, and then like, so they disrupt the game, and I think something else happens, and he goes, "You know what? Forget it. I guess the game's over. Fatty's team loses because I want him to cry again."
Yeah.
Because Davey's such an asshole, he causes Whitey to have a seizure, right? So
yeah.
This is where,
because he's going against the rules of basketball. Whitey is very by the books, innocent character.
Whitey loves 3 things. We've established 2. I'm about to establish the other. He loves the holidays, basketball, and unfettered capitalism. Because
he loves
the mall. He loves the mall so much, he considers it's a close friend and talks to it like a person.
It is his happy place.
He goes through this. He takes Davey to the mall because he loves the fucking mall.
Yeah.
And he goes through this whole spiel, and everything rhymes. And Davey's like,
"Yep,
did you have that prepared, or was that
just a random coincidence?"
Whitey's like, that was kind of weird. So now we get to our romantic interest of the movie. Jennifer,
played by Jackie Tatone.
Yes, now Jackie Sandler.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think they met on this movie, as a matter of fact.
Love.
So
Love is in the air.
So now, like, Jennifer comes up with her son. She's a single mom. She gives Whitey a sugar-free donut with sugar-free Bavarian cream, which honestly sounds disgusting.
He loves it, man.
But Whitey's not a diabetic, but his sister, who we'll meet later in the movie, is a diabetic, and he doesn't eat sugar in solidarity.
Yeah. I don't think they've ever said it, but I'm pretty sure they were twins.
Yeah, no, they're fraternal twins.
Okay, all right. Also, his sister is also voiced by Adam Sandler. Surprise there.
So basically, we have another. He's like, "Ooh, she's hot," and Whitey's like, "Oh yeah, you missed your chance years ago, hot shot." So he's like, "Oh God, that's Jennifer." And we learned that Jennifer had to move back town because her husband is so many assholes in this movie. I think Whitey, Eleanor, and Jennifer and Benjamin, they're the only legitimately good people in this whole movie.
It's because she moved away
she
from
moved
that town.
away from this terrible, terrible town with terrible, terrible people. So Benji comes up. He got a Game Boy Advance for the second day of Hanukkah. And Davy's like, well, the Hanukkah monster is going to come take a shit on your bed. And so now, now the scene changes. We're at the basketball community center, the basketball court, and Whitey has brought Davy in there to watch an adult game to learn more about the fundamentals. And Benjamin is there because Jennifer had to work a double shift. So,
yep.
Whitey is just like, oh, don't take basketball advice from Davy. He can't play anymore. And he's like, I could beat both of those dudes who are playing right now. And one of them's a cop. That's the reason that Davy stayed. Because Davy wasn't going to stay. But he's like, well, I'll tell Officer blah, blah, blah that you're not complying and you're going to go do your time. And so Davy is like, fine, I'll stay. And then they hear him talk shit. And they're like, oh, I'd really like to see that. Yeah, that's what Davy says. Davy says, I could beat those two even if Whitey was my partner. So they're like, all right, fine. And he's like, if you can beat me, I'll eat my jockstrap. Davy's like, fine. But if I beat you, you got to eat that guy's jockstrap. And it's just this big fat guy doing stretches in the middle of a basketball court.
Sweating very hard.
Very profusely. So they play the game, and this is where we learn how furry Whitey is. We learned that his ass cheeks were furry from the first time they played basketball, but now we've learned his whole body. He's like a big miniature Yeti, but only his belly button shows because their skins and the other team is shirts. And so they're playing a game, and Whitey is trying hard to play basketball, but you got to remember, he's 4'2". He's got uneven feet, and he's just trying. He's like
60 years old.
And he goes, you're not reffing, you're playing. Go shoot the ball. And he lines up his shot, and he tries to shoot it, and the officer just comes down and just like meteor strikes the ball right in the poor Whitey's face, and it knocks him unconscious. So Whitey can't play. So he's like, all right, I'll get Benjamin to come in. Davy gives him some pointers. They end up winning the game. Jennifer sees this. Jennifer's like, oh, wow, he really is a good person. And then Davy's like, all right, now tell him what I told you. And he goes like, get on these nuts, biatch, or something like that.
Yeah,
Jennifer's
he says a curse word.
Davy's still an asshole. And she's like, not everybody wants to grow up to be a piece of shit like you, or something like that, and leaves. And then they go to another song about the good old days between Jennifer, which this is a thing that really bothers me in musicals.
Okay.
Jennifer singing in her car, Davy is singing in his car.
Yeah, it's like they all.
Well, how
they don't know it?
Like, how do they know how to respond? I know it's a musical. Although this song does have a really funny line, so when they can't figure out how to rhyme, I guess they make Whitey say something, because he's like talking while he's unconscious, and just the part where he goes, "The only time I had sex was on the phone." Just kills me every time. And the last lyric of this song, Davy says his trailer is on fire because the cop burnt down his trailer because he lost a basketball game, and
while still eating the jockstrap. So he was a man of his word.
He did do it. So now he moves in with Whitey. Whitey's house is super decorated for Christmas. Like a lot.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And So, as far as we know, Whitey is a volunteer referee at the community center.
Yep.
What does he do for money? Well, he does odd jobs around the town. He does them for mainly $1. We see this
not a
earlier
lot.
in the film, where he's putting the star on top of a tree, and then like he falls off the tree, and the people don't even check on him. They laugh at him. And then
He is just like the whipping boy, basically.
and so he gets back up. And he's like, "Well, is there anything else you can do?" And this one guy's like, "I give you $1 if you hose off the crappers." And he does, and we then see that Davy has spent the night drinking, and he comes out, and he's just like,
I spend the night drinking a Dukesberry and up a Pukesberry.
And then Adam Sandler, Davy, I keep calling him Adam Sandler because it's just like,
Yeah,
It's
it's just
hard.
Adam Sandler. Yeah.
he throws him in the porta potty, and he throws it, and then he gets covered in shit, and he freezes him, and he's like, "Smell you later, poopsicle." And this is where Whitey's woodland friends that he
Save him
apparently
again.
him and his sister can communicate with these reindeer, so they bail him
Yeah.
out a lot through the movie. But this was the part that when they were going through focus groups, they were very shocked. They were like, "We're actually going to take this scene out, but we wanted to see how you would react anyway." And the reindeer lick the ice off of them, and they have literal shit eating grins about it. And
Yep.
the focus group were like, "That's fucking hilarious. Keep that in. Don't you dare take that out." Like, it's almost the exact opposite of every focus group I've ever seen, but I think it's the reason the movie bombed.
Could have been. Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of like gross humor that just, it kind of comes out of nowhere. But I digress. So now let's get back to where we were. We are introduced to Eleanor, who is also voiced by Adam Sandler, as Joel said earlier. Let's see if I can do her. She's like, "Oh my God, we're being invaded."
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. It basically sounds like Adam Sandler is just doing like a Jewish mother.
a Jewish voice. Which is
Yeah,
weird because
that's it.
these two characters are canonically not Jewish.
Yep.
So this is where he's like breaking a bunch of rules and drinking beer, and that's when Whitey sings the song Technical Foul, explaining the rules of the house. And also at one point in the song, Eleanor just starts saying like, "I'm going to beat the shit out of you if you don't follow the rules." Because she's got like nunchucks and shit. And so we kind of get into a montage of how things are going better for Davy. We see
Starting to turn his life around.
He's really starting to turn his life around. Oh yeah, I forgot that in this song we also see that Eleanor wears a wig and looks like an owl without her wig on. She had one wig stolen when she was 14, and she has not let it go.
No.
So, and this is where we also learned that Whitey's dream is to get the 35th of the annual Person of the Year, Town Person of the Year award for Dukesbury. It's all he wants. That's it. This
Just
man
that
is
patch.
treated like garbage every day by
He does.
everyone. And
He
so
does so much for the community.
yeah, and they
so much.
hate him basically.
Yeah.
And so now we're at the ice skating rink, and we see that Whitey is really good at ice skating because he refereed for hockey back in the 70s.
Something
But he
like
got-
that. Yep.
He got hit with a hockey puck in the back of the head. He's like, nothing a metal plate can't fix. Dung dung. But then we learn that they tell the story of how good Davy was at basketball. And we also learn why Davy is the way he is.
Yeah.
So 21 years ago, Davy is in this basketball game, and he's just like, our parents come every year and watch it, or every game, and watch us lose. I figured for Hanukkah this year, we can really help them out, and let's give them a win. And they do. And Davy's like, and Jennifer's like, where's your parents? And Davy goes, well, they're going to be here. They'll be here. I don't know where they are. So they win the big game because basically Davy's the best player. And they're just like, look, if we're going to win, we just got to pass the ball to Davy. There's no other way around it. Yeah. And so they win the big game. And then tragically, Davy's parents on the way to the game got hit by a truck that got hit by black ice. So here's the thing. I get why Davy loses his temper.
Yeah.
Because Whitey is not exactly handling this story with an emotional softness
touch
that you would. Yeah, an emotional touch with this story. It's just like, Eleanor's, that's terrible. What did you do? And before Davy can answer, he goes, what could he do? He was he was tragically traumatized. And Davy's like, I really don't want to talk about this. And then this eventually has Davy lose his temper.
Yeah.
And he's just like, screw both of you. You'll never win this award because this whole town doesn't care about you. They don't even know you exist. You and your freaky sister. And he pulls off her wig and throws it, and Whitey's in tears. Because Whitey was just, I don't know, trying to come to a place of understanding. And if Davy had properly dealt with his emotions, he also wouldn't have lost his temper.
True.
So, but you lose both your parents at a young age, you're going to run into some issues. I get it.
Yeah.
So now we're getting ready for the big show, the big Person of the Year banquet. Well, Whitey and Eleanor are, and who's helping them out? The deer, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is also Eleanor's
Cinderella-esque.
first time out of the house in who knows how long. So I guess she's an agoraphobic. She's afraid of the outdoors.
She went to the ice rink.
That's true. She did.
Yeah.
But, or maybe she's not then.
No.
So the deers are helping Whitey get dressed. They're also helping Eleanor pick out a wig. What is Davy doing? Davy gets crazy drunk.
Yeah.
And he goes to yell at Jennifer at the mall, and the mall is closed. So this is kind of the stranger part of the movie. I guess what we're led to believe is Davy gets so drunk he starts hallucinating.
Yeah.
That the mall's various mascots come to life and tell them that he needs to cry.
Yep.
And so he does. He's been carrying around this card this whole movie. It's the last Hanukkah card his parents gave them before they were killed. And so it's like, well, you're going to open the card. He's like, I'm not going to feel anything. You fuckers can't make me feel shit. And they're like, well, open the card. And the card is a sweet message like, you'll always be our sweet boy. We love you so much, Davy. And, he sobs. He finally lets it out. And, but he still was breaking and entering. So the cops from the beginning of the movie are just like, we knew you'd get you. And so
we knew you would screw up.
Yeah, we knew you'd screw up, Stone. And so Davy pulls the old loop-de-loop on them and somehow handcuffs them together to make it look like they're butt fucking. And
Yep.
the cops are like, this is embarrassing. And so we go back to the banquet and we go in and this guy shows up. He goes, Eleanor?
Oh yeah.
She's like, yeah, who wants to know? He goes, I stole your wig when you were 14 years old, and I've felt bad about it ever since. Here you go. She goes, oh my God, thank you so much. And then roundhouse kicks him in the face.
Yep. She did not forgive him.
Yeah, she's like, do you feel better? She's like, I don't know. So they go into the banquet and they do a joke about how Eleanor... They do two jokes, actually. So, the mayor, voiced by Kevin Nealon, he's there. He makes, like, one, like, pretty cheesy joke, and they all lose their fucking shit. Like, the
Yep.
Asian character, like, rips his shirt off and slams his head on the table. It's just that
Yeah.
funny of a joke.
There were kids who were like shooting snot out of their noses
Yeah,
because
and
it's so funny.
The Benjamin is like, I don't get it, and like the Jennifer goes, I think they're just trying to be nice.
Yeah, just being nice to the mayor.
And
That's it.
so this is it. This is the big moment. We are about to see Whitey win an award, but then out of nowhere, this Tom Baltazar, the character voiced by John Lovitz, he
Looks
became
like John Lovitz.
Yeah, he looks like John Lovitz.
Yeah.
He became a billionaire. He donated the new scoreboard, and so everyone voted for him. And Whitey is absolutely crushed. And Adam's Davey is watching through the window, and he's like, "Oh man, they totally snubbed him." And he's just like, "All right, I'm gonna risk it all." And he's like, if I have to serve 10 years, I got to serve 10 years, but I got to do right by the little guy," is what he says. So he runs in and he goes, they don't give him a chance to speak. They're like, there's Davy Stone, arrest him right now. And the judge is there. The judge is like, your 10-year sentence is starting tonight. And they bring him in handcuffs. He goes, please, I just got one thing to say, and then you can send me up the river. The whole town, like, they hate Davy so much. The whole town is cheering that he's gonna leave. And but Jennifer sees him crying, right? So Jennifer's like, oh my God, he's finally opened up. So she's like, please just let him talk. And there's a woman with 3 tits who we forgot to mention earlier. She's like, yeah, let him talk. Then we'll send him up the river. And they're like, yeah. And this is where they have a song with describing all the things that they have done wrong to Whitey, which
Terrible
the first
things.
one is the first wrong that we hear is Adam Sandler talks about basically the first plot of the movie up until now. The second guy is watching football during a thunderstorm. Whitey comes with a coat hanger and stands on top of his TV to get a signal. And lightning in a building, lightning strikes Whitey to the point where his skin is charred, and all they do is turn up the volume and ignore the smell. And there's another girl who went to high school with Whitey. She tricked him into thinking they were going to prom together.
Yeah.
This is where the Asian guy who I guess hasn't lived in Dukesbury his whole life, he goes, I can't believe you guys were so mean to Whitey. Were you guys smoking crack?
Yeah. Because Whitey is always just so nice.
Yeah,
Like
like-
even all the bad stuff that happens to him, he's still like he treats everybody like their best friends.
Yeah. So now the song is over and we now go to Whitey driving. He's like, I just want to go to the mall.
My happy place,
My happy
please.
place. And Eleanor is just like, well, it's closed, Whitey. He goes, well, these are desperate times. Maybe the security guard forgot to lock it. He goes, well, if he didn't, we can just go sit in the parking lot. These are desperate times. And then the mall is open because Davey just broke into it earlier.
Yep.
And he's in the center of the mall, and this, I don't know, this kind of got to me a lot.
It's
a sad scene. Whitey is in the center of the mall, and he goes, "Hey, mall, long time no talk, approximately 14 hours." And this is where he tells the mall, he's like, "I don't think everybody thinks I'm a joke. I'm just gonna move somewhere where no one knows I exist so I don't get abused." And
he mentions Florida.
It's like, it's so sad. Even the mascots are like super sad. And so we see that like he's gonna try to move to Florida. And Adam Sandler's like, or Davey is like, you're not going anywhere. We've all made a mistake, and you get to win the patch. And like, this is where the song where it's like, "It's your moment, Whitey," starts to play. And they're like, "You can have my patch," and they all give him their patches, and they're just like, Whitey gets so happy he has a seizure.
Yep.
And he's like, "This is the happiest seizure of my life." And the movie ends, and one of the post-credit songs is the put on the Hanukkah song that was made in SNL. Fun facts about the movie: Davey's parents are voiced by Adam Sandler's parents. So
interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah, Stan Sandler and Judith Sandler. This is Stan's only film appearance. He died in 2003, and in his memory was dedicated in another Adam Sandler film, 50 First Dates.
Oh, okay.
So like Joel said, this reminds him of the Iron Giant. Many animation fans have noted the design style of the characters in 8 Crazy Nights are similar to the design styles of the characters in the Iron Giant. The majority of the animators that worked on this film were laid off from Warner Brothers Feature Animation, which produced the Iron Giant, and Fox Animation Studios. So that might be why.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But all in all, I particularly like this movie. There's probably not some parts that aged that great, but it was not critically acclaimed by any sense.
I think it's sitting at a 5.3 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has had 25,000 ratings.
Yeah, a lot of the criticisms was actually from like the tone, oddly enough, not the rude tone, not like the crude humor. Although there were some critics who criticized it. It was actually like, they were like, this movie's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's
like, it has it's got vague, like a happy ending, but not.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it's it's heartwarming, the ending, but at the same time, they're still taking quips at Whitey.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like, even at the end of the movie, they're still taking jabs at him. And it's just like, okay.
So, yeah, there's a part in the movie. It's like the very last thing that Davey and Whitey they interact together. But Whitey goes, Stone, if me and my imaginary wife ever have a son, I want you to think of him as a brother. And Davy's like, I'm gonna pretend you never said that. And he goes, appreciate it. And that's the last
That's
thing
it.
we hear from Whitey, except for Eleanor is like, wait, you can teach us about Hanukkah, and when this one goes to bed, you can bump uglies or something like that.
What?
That's pretty much how it ends. I think you see the three-boobed lady breastfeed 3 babies at the same time.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
if that's your fetish, wait till
Hey.
the end of the movie for a surprise.
There you go.
Now, Joel, I believe it's time to go to your new reoccurring segment. Reviews that run out of oil and reviews that last for 8 days.
That's a good one. Solid
Hanukkah.
one. Hanukkah. So this is a
Latkes.
dreidels. Menorahs. I'm just naming
Yeah, we
We
know.
Old Testament.
Yeah, the Torah.
So this is a 1 out of 10 titled Don't Waste Your Time or Your Money on This. Now, this review was done in 2002 when the movie would have come out.
Oh, okay.
Or
nice.
would have
This is
came out.
straight
Sorry.
off the presses.
Exactly. The
That guy came home that night.
Yeah, he was angry. The animation looked pretty good. The police call was up to date, at least. But the plot line is the most sophomoric stinker was the worst I've ever seen, with only one possible exception. The rating should have been an R, and it wouldn't have been the first for an animated feature. Insulted my intelligence.
I kind of feel that, though.
Yeah,
Like, he's not wrong.
yeah.
I watched this on DVD, so I think it stung a little less.
Yeah, and so the 10 out of 10, I think it's one of those movies, as time has passed, people have just appreciated it for it
Yeah.
just being
I see-
silly.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But this one is a 10 out of 10, was actually reviewed or posted in 2020. So not too long ago, titled A Holiday Classic as far as I'm concerned. I watched this movie multiple times during the holidays. I have really enjoyed Adam Sandler's movies for years. In the last 2 years, I have really come to appreciate his films. No politics, just simple silliness. I was totally comfortable watching this with my then 6-year-old. He got it on one level, I got it on another level. Recently, we were able to get together and watch it again. He is now 24. We were roaring. Never gets old.
There you have it.
There you have it.
It's always the guy who's like, I'm so glad this isn't political. That's it's always that guy.
Yeah.
I bet you he complained about when Star Wars got political, even though it was always
You
political.
mean Phantom of the Menace?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, even A New Hope is political, kind of.
Well, I was just talking about how, like, the
You mean
prequel,
like there's the Senate.
yeah, like, well, the
prequels.
prequels are all of, that's all the prequels
That's
are. It's
all
just,
they are. Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's just
Star-
the story of the
Star Wars-
politics.
The original trilogy is political commentary, but the prequels literally have politics in them.
That's the whole story.
There's
It's
a
just-
goddamn senator. But yeah, I believe that that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
But I believe that wraps up 8 Crazy Nights.
Shalom.
Also, happy 150th episode, like 3 episodes ago.
Last week. The Transformers
last
movies, yeah.
We promise we'll do something a little more special and acknowledge it on our 200th episode.
Yep.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have a $5 tier that gets you pins, stickers, access to our Discord, bonus episodes, and episodes with extended audio. I think they'll also be ad free, although I don't know if we don't do a lot of ads. But if you subscribe to our Patreon, you won't even have to deal with those tiny ones. We have a Twitter, X, Cartoon DD. We have an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Threads, all Cartoon Dumpster Dive. If you'd like to send us an email, you can send that to cartoondumpsterdive@gmail.com. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of our choice, your choice, actually. If I were to make a choice, I would be Spotify.
Yeah.
Because that one's at 4.6. So our podcast can last more than 8 days and beyond. Have a great rest of your week, and happy Hanukkah if you celebrate it.
See ya.
For all you aspiring parents to be out there, when your child is at the age when they can start drinking juice, tart cherry juice has natural benefits to have the brain create melatonin or some shit.
Okay.
We read it in an article. I have no idea how fucking and the thing that when you eat turkey,
Okay.
trazodone,
Yeah.
it helps them sleep, but I got a little gas man, so sometimes he wakes up. So
Yes.
This has been a Lughole podcast.